No, you are not looking at Fat Canadian Moist Critical, you are looking at Spookier Celluloid today with another review. At this point I'm just reviewing every movie that I watch that I don't discuss on my main channel. And I got another slasher from the 80s. I don't know, I've kind of been on a slasher kick, I guess, and for some reason something possessed me tonight to watch this, even though I originally had rated it like 2 out of 5 on Letterboxd, I guess, first time I saw it. I just wanted to watch a shitty, stereotypical slasher tonight, and I ended up watching this. So, did it go up for me? Absolutely. I don't know if I was like stuck up, if I was half asleep when I first watched this, but this time I really did enjoy this one. It's just ridiculous. Now, of course, it is presented to us by Troma. I'm not sure how invested Troma was. They might have just, executively produced it, or maybe just even originally distributed it. Lloyd Kaufman is credited as a creative consultant, and you can expect from this every trope from an 80s Troma distributed or even Troma produced or Lloyd Kaufman directed film of jokes, I guess. Very crude, very immature comedy, which I appreciate. I did laugh a lot at this. Some physical stuff thrown in there. Terrible, god-awful acting. The main character is apparently sexy scream queen Forbes Riley. She is as good at acting as a plank of wood. Her dialogue, the way she tells, just the way she talks is absurdly bad. It's hilarious throughout the film. She's just in serious situation and she just sounds like a robot. It's god-awful. The rest of the cast are not really better. It's a lot of 30-year-old acting like college students, which is weird because I'm 27 and I am in college, so I guess it's more credible than in high school. But a lot of these slashers that are apparently in colleges or universities, to me they feel just like high school slashers, because there's no distinction between this like apparently private Catholic school, which I didn't get until I read the synopsis. Well, I got that it was Catholic, I just didn't get it was like a private school. Like, it's so small, there is no feeling of like more than the students that we see. We always see the same students, even outside in the backgrounds. It has a feeling of being like a high school horror film and not a university or college, and they're a bit confused. The teacher either says that they have the class every week or every day. Now, I'm not familiar with American universities, but I know that I don't have a class in every subject every day. It's just, I don't know. Some American in the comments might help me out with that. So what is this about? Well, it's your typical A to Z slasher film. So we start in an asylum, and we meet the people of the asylum, and there's of course a lot of comedy there, and they can't find one of the patients, so a doctor goes into the garage looking for the patient, opens a door and gets stabbed in the dick. So the first 2 kills are a stab in the dick, and then later on we go to the private college or private university, and one lady, the sociology teacher, well, she gets her tit stabbed, and we see the gore is like, it's not super gory, but we do see the knife and we do get a lot of blood splat. So the first 2 kills are dick stabbing and titty stabbing, which is a great way to introduce what will come in the future. Speaking of coming, there's a lot of sex, there's a lot of partying, there's not really nudity, I don't think. Like, even the tit stabbing, there's no nudity in this. I don't remember if there was, and I just watched it. This is how, like, it's straight up to the typical slasher it is. Yeah, there wasn't nudity. There was a lot of overacting and a lot of 80s hair. The redhead in this with her female mullet, it's ridiculous. There's a dance scene in a bar that's probably the scariest thing about this, is white people dancing in the 80s to, like, terrible music. The soundtrack in this is god-awful, and whenever there's outside shots of just the university and people walk around, it's always the same music cue. I don't get it. This is the 88 Films Blu-ray from their classic slasher line, which I don't know if every title in that line, but I can assure you none of them are classics. Maybe Alice, Sweet Alice, but Alice, Sweet Alice is such a weird movie to put in the classic slasher line, because Alice, Sweet Alice is a proto-slasher that's more like a giallo than a slasher. And yeah, by the way, this is like a whodunit slasher. Very predictable. As soon as the person who commits the murders shows up on screen, you can guess who it is. So it's a fun ass time. They distributed a lot of Troma films through this line. Mother's Day is another one I have. So yeah, it's shot in 16mm. It's a 2K transfer. There's a lot of, it's not like a perfect remaster. There's a lot of scratches, there's a lot of grain, but I don't mind. I like it because it gives that dirty 16mm look, which I love the look of this film. It's shot very amateurish. This was clearly a low budget production. There's a shot, I'm not kidding, it's tilted. It's just tilted, and it's not for artistic purposes. It just looks like shit. There's shots of, like, the priest talks to the teacher, and in one shot he has glasses, the next one doesn't have glasses. There's a lot of jarring cuts. Is this a good film? No. Will you be entertained? Absolutely. I'm losing my voice. Absolutely, you will. It comes with some bonus features, a commentary with the director, and a interview with slasher expert Justin Kurzweil. You can be a slasher expert. Anyways, Splatter University, what do I rate it? I give it a 7.28. My previous rating was about a 4 out of 10. But no, this deserves way more. This is entertaining as fuck balls. Typical slasher, like I said, nothing's gonna surprise you. Plus, it's 76 minutes without the credit, because the runtime is 78 minutes, but without the credits, it's like 75 minutes. So it just grazes by. Probably this and like Slumber Party Massacre are probably the two shortest slashers of the 80s. So yeah, highly recommended. Did I break something? Is my cat here? No. Okay. Highly recommended if you're looking for a bad fun movie to watch. Yeah. Thank you guys. See you later.